Howdy folks, we're back, and we're continuing my playthrough of Star Control 2, the Quan Masters. Last time we went scampering around the galaxy looking for rainbow worlds. We convinced the Thredash to attack the Korra, and they got their butts beaten. We talked to the Supox and got the broken Ultron from them. So if we can fix that, maybe we can convince the Utwig to not kill themselves. And maybe get some use out of that. I don't know. We'll see. This time, we're going to fiddle with my ship a bit, outfit it with more cool toys. And then we're going to get a lot more information out of the May, because we've got more to buy. And after that, we're going to try and rescue we're going to start the process of bringing back the Shopixti. Hooray! So, let's get things going. Alright, we have got a bunch of this here. Now, the first thing we're going to do is we're actually going to sell off all our fuel, because we get 20 units per fuel. We get 20 resources per unit of fuel, and we can buy fuel for 1 credit each from the May. It's an amazing deal. In fact, we're going to take advantage of that significantly more in a bit. Modules. We're going to get rid of some of our cargo modules now. We're going to keep one of them, I think. Put that there. Put a storage pod there. I want one storage bay. Hellbore cannons instead. Hellbore cannons are better. I want to remember the mix of dynamos versus my usual build. Alright, that's right. I think what we want to do is we want to turn these into Shiva furnaces. A second tracking module. And another fuel tank. Alright, there we go. And I guess we'll grab another lander because what the hell. Exit menu, and then we'll go to the shipyard. Alright, we're gonna actually be filling crew here. I want to have at least one Earth Cruiser. Alright, we are going to get rid of one of the Furies. I think we can get rid of 2 of the Furies. 3 should be sufficient. Alright, let's see. Another Or's Nemesis. I think I want 3 of those. Alright, that should be good for now. out of fuel. We can maneuver in system without fuel. But, let's see. Let's, manifest. Nope, wrong button. And now we wait for ship to arrive.
Welcome back, Captain. You are our favorite customer. Now, what can we do for you today?
Well, we got something to sell.
Would you like to sell, Captain?
I got some alien life forms. Yeah,
What
only
would you like to sell, Captain?
on the last Rainbow World location.
Your ship's log indicates that you discovered the whereabouts of one of the Rainbow Worlds, which so fascinate us. In exchange, we will give you 500 credits.
I'd like to make some purchases.
What freight items would you like to buy today?
First off, fuel.
How much fuel?
Fill the tanks.
Fuel transferred to your vessel.
Info.
How wonderful, Captain.
Useful data on alien races.
The Zakvatik are a friendly co-op of 3 alien species, all native to the same world. They are presently suffering severe collateral damage from the ritual combat between the Quan and the Korra. While this is unfortunate for the Zakvatik, they have been forced to abandon many of their worlds. This close proximity to the inter-Urquan war will give them insights into the conflict, which will be of great use to you. In addition, the Zakvatik met the Chenjesu early on in the war and are eager to make allies who can protect them from their enemies. In case you are interested, the Zakvatik homeworld is at coordinates 400.0 by 543.7, Planet 1.
More data on alien races.
The Iraq are presently attacking the Pekunk in the Lekali and Kruger constellations. These beings have slavish devotion to their dark gods Dogar and Kazan, which in the past few years has been used against them by the Unga. If you need to manipulate the Iraq, we suggest you discover the Unga's technique and duplicate it. The Pekunk are a mystical offshoot of the Yehat species, who left their bird brothers long ago to found a peaceful enclave in the Kruger and Keitless stars. At the present time, the Pekunk are defending themselves against the Iraq, who have been commanded to attack the happy birds by Dogar and Kazan. The Pekunk may be unwilling to make a formal alliance with you, but we have confidence that if you explain yourself honestly, they will help your efforts against the Quan.
Good, we got that. Alright.
The creatures presently fighting the Urquan are called the Korra. They are an Urquan subspecies who split off from the main species many thousands of years ago. Their present fight is a ritual reenacting of a major difference of opinion between two rival Urquan leaders, after the Urquan overwhelmed their slave masters, the Dinyare. The Korra are immune to reason, having long ago lost the ability to see their situation objectively. They live in a self-maintained paradox. To ensure their safety and security, the Korra fight an endless battle against all other sentient species.
Kind of tragic, really.
I must warn you about some very bad people. Is this worth so many credits? You ask yourself. I assure you it is. The creatures are called the Druge, and they are a callous and evil race. They care for nothing but profit and personal gain through unfair mercantile exchanges. Why are you looking at me like that, Captain? It is not appropriate. As I was saying, these wicked creatures will try to sell you commodities at unreasonably low prices. Boy, they almost give away fuel. Do not fall for their tricks. There are hidden costs, secret tariffs. So that you may avoid them, I will tell you that their main trade world is Zeta Persei 1. Why are you smiling, Captain?
More useful data on alien species.
The Berbixies race evolved on the planet Arcturus 1. They lived there in a relatively benevolent manner until the Korra came and destroyed them during the course of 2 or 3 unfortunate days. The Druge were largely responsible for the Korra finding the Berbixies. You see, the Berbixies were in long-distance, hyperwave contact with a race known simply as the Geg. For decades, the Geg and the Berbixies traded much valuable information until the Geg came under attack by an invading race who you may know as the Korra. The Geg warned the Berbixies that the Korra located races by their hyperwave transmissions and that they had already discovered the radiations from the Druge. When the Berbixies were kind enough to warn the Druge that a hostile alien race was homing in on their hyperwave radiations, the Druge shut down all their transmitters and erected a powerful hyperwave beacon on the surface of the Berbixies moon. The Korra changed course, attacked the poor Berbixies, and sadly destroyed them all.
This just in, the Druge are assholes.
The Fradash are an arrogant, stubborn, and thick-skinned species who reside in the Draconis and Apodus star systems. They have little or no respect for anything but force, which they admire greatly. To make the Fradash your friends, you should consider killing most, but not all of them. In addition, they guard some kind of sacred relic at the star system Zeta Draconis, though we do not know the true nature of this artifact. The Fradash homeworld is at Delta Draconis.
More useful data.
After the war, the Chenjesku and the Mernherm chose to be slave-shielded on the Chenjesu's homeworld at Procyon. We suspect that they are melding their two species to form some kind of new hybrid race, a race which may well be powerful enough to destroy the Urquan single-handedly. However, by our calculations, this process will take many decades, if not centuries. Should you wish to talk to them, we recommend you invest in a hyperwave broadcasting system, which is powerful enough to penetrate the shield around their world.
More useful data on alien races. Go!
The Mycon are using this time, while the Quan have their attention elsewhere, to expand their sphere of influence as fast as possible. The Mycon colonize planets by launching tough spore pods from orbit and injecting them under the planet's surface. Months later, after the spores have grown hundreds of thick, fibrous tendrils under the planet's crust, the tendrils suddenly thrust up out of the planet and create huge calderas. Not incidentally, filling the planet's atmosphere with the Mycon's preferred gases, clouds of superheated steam and sulfuric acid.
More useful data.
Following the end of the war, the Androsynth began experimenting with interdimensional fatigue, a process which is related to your faster-than-light drive, but involves dimensions far more alien than hyperspace. They had just made a major breakthrough when they were suddenly wiped out by a race called the Ors, who appeared seemingly out of nowhere. Actually, we don't know what the Ors did to the Androsynth. They're just all gone. The Arilulale are a mysterious race of IDF beings. IDF meaning interdimensional fatigue. They do not reside in this galaxy, or in fact, anywhere in this universe. While it is true that the Arilu are rarely seen far from the Colombe star group, they do make regular, secret visits to your world, and have done so for centuries. Ever since Earth was stayed shielded, they have focused their attention on the humans aboard the starbase, many of whom are now members of your crew. Though the Arilulale always smile and are never overtly hostile, we believe that they have a secret agenda which somehow involves your planet, Earth. These secret plans may or may not cause grief and woe to you Earthlings. Just under 20 years ago, the brave and suicidal Shofixi annihilated their species by exploding a precursor device, some kind of bomb, in the interior of their sun. The resulting storm of solar flares cooked the life off the Shofixi homeworld and incinerated over 100 Quan dreadnoughts which had just entered the system to conquer the Shofixi. In actuality, there are still at least a dozen Shofixi left alive in the galaxy. One or two are at Delta Gorno, guarding the dead hulk of their once beautiful world. Others can be found in Vox space.
Alright, let's get more information.
The Slilandro are a mostly non-solid
Wow, there's a lot of
sentient
data here.
race who live in a gas giant at Beta Cori. We recently sold them a self-replicating exploration probe, which has somehow turned hostile and attacks everything it detects. If such encounters had angered you, Captain, please do not address your concerns to us. We possess a formal waiver of damages authorized by Slilandro Speaker and are in no way responsible for the situation.
I'm trying to run them out of alien races data for now. I'll do the historical stuff later.
The cowardly Static live at the single planet orbiting Epsilon Grus. They do not actually live on their world. Rather, they reside on its airless moon. The reason? A xenomorphic species which craves the sweet flavored flesh of the Spaffy has been transported to the surface of their planet and makes every attempt to devour the poor Spaffy. I'm certain that the Spaffy would be forever in your debt if you were to eliminate these creatures from their planet.
Done that already.
What? You fear the alien creatures will find you a treat also? Fear not. Our data reveals the beasts are not interested in your species. Should you wish to consult with the Spaffy Ruling Council, you will need to know the secret Spaffy cipher. A password, which is Huffy, Muffy, Guffy.
That's one of the other things I do like about this game. It is virtually all the important information is possible to get from multiple sources.
Like you Earthlings, when the war with the Quan was lost, the Cyrene chose to be slave-shielded. Their new world is at Beetlejuice. The Cyrene starbase is crewed by the starship commanders and crew who were decommissioned at the end of the war. Though the Cyrene hate the Urquan with a vengeance, they are unlikely to offer you assistance unless you reveal to them the truth behind the tragedy of their original homeworld, Syra, which was destroyed by the birth of a Mycon Deep child a century ago.
Wow.
When the Urquan entered Gamma Serpentis, the home star of the Yehat, their queen made a sudden change of allegiance and allied with the Urquan hierarchy. They became Urquan combat thralls. This act was viewed by most Yehat starship officers as ultimately dishonorable, the desperate act of a corrupt regent to maintain her throne. The Yehat shame was greatly magnified by the Shofixi show of courage when they destroyed their own star system to slow down the Urquan Armada. Captain, you have heard all that we have to say about aliens indigenous to this region. Should we learn more in the near future, we shall be certain to sell it to you.
Alright, we're done buying information for now.
Else, it has...
Alright. Time to go do stuff. We are going to now head to Vux Space. Alright, because we gotta go talk to Admiral Zex. Alright, this one here. And then from there we are headed to Alpha Cherenkov, that's right. Why is my fuel showing up so small? Alright, we get to go talk to Admiral Zex. Yeah. Warning to everybody. Zex is kind of creepy. Okay, he's a lot creepy.
Ah, human visitors. What a treat. I am Admiral Zex. Please, do not be frightened. Unlike the rest of my species, I enjoy humans. You may know me by my reputation, my leadership of Vox forces during the war with your alliance. I assure you that this behavior, a sad necessity of those times, belies a much kinder, gentler being. Please, be welcome. We can get to know one another, expand our interspecies relationship. But wait, how silly of me. You aren't here for polite repartee. You have come for my show-fixing maidens.
Also, by the way, the Vox music is amazing. If you listen to it. It's a great, great track. I love this piece. Anyways, what are you doing here, Admiral Zex?
Ah, such a good question. But you always were a grunt species. I will explain. After the Great War, in which I played some small part, the Vox High Council, in recognition for my services, granted me this planet, so that I might pursue my hobby without disturbing the general Vox populace. I am a collector, you see. I have the finest menagerie of beautiful creatures in all space.
Menagerie is a collection of animals like a zoo?
Animals? Oh no, Captain. Not mere animals. My menagerie contains only the most beautiful creatures in the galaxy. Each of my children, as I like to call them, has a wonderful set of traits which make them unique and special, especially to me. I have a complete variety of beasts from as far away as Procyon and Vega. No, this is not just some zoo. I have worked diligently for many years to craft my menagerie, to gradually improve it. Perhaps you can't tell, but I am rather proud of it. Alas, there's one creature, one gorgeous animal which I do not yet possess. I would give almost anything for that creature, Captain.
Alright, let's talk to some other things first. Admiral Zex, why don't you attack us like all of the Vox have?
Because I like humans, Captain. I respect and admire your species. I do not share the bigoted views of most of my people.
Why do you like us? We thought all Vox hated humans.
No, not all Vox, Captain. Most, but not all. It is true, when the majority of my people view one of your species, they are forced to regurgitate. But there are those among us who have grown beyond such childishness, to take a more liberal view. We, the few sophisticates, are not subject to the winds and fads of current fashion. Our likes and dislikes are strictly based on personal preference. We see the beauty in you humans, the value in a long-term relationship. You are different, yes, but personally, I like difference. In fact, I adore it. Your physique is so wonderfully varied. Your multitudinous rigid appendages, your tiny double eyes, your varied skin coloration, and the delightful patchwork of hair covering only parts of your bodies, leaving other parts bare and smooth. I value your species, Captain. I see you as just people, like us Vox.
This is a little weird. Aren't you some kind of, aesthete?
You have talked with my Vox countrymen, haven't you?
Aesthete.
They are close-minded fools, bigoted in all ways. Call me what you wish, Captain. I choose to view myself as, well, simply open-minded, free to experience the full range of life's possibilities. The Vox rulers could not refuse my military genius, couldn't ignore the many victories I gave them, but they would not tolerate my behavior, accept my desires as natural. So they sent me out here, a hero's exile, where I won't poison the minds of youth with my bizarre ideas and perverted lifestyle. Bigoted fools. You see, Captain, we're not all that different, you and I. We are different from the majority of Vox, and so we, in Vox eyes, are both monsters.
Fair enough. So I went and got the little critter for you that you were talking about earlier. Would you give us the Shifixty Maidens?
What an interesting proposal. I never would have thought of such a wonderful idea myself. You are a genius, Captain. In answer to your question, yes, I accept your offer. Deliver the creature to me, and I shall give you the Shofixie Maidens. I will even provide you with a clue to finding the creature's native planet. My source for this information is an ancient wildlife handbook written millennia ago by some unknown alien author. The pertinent passage goes as follows. Demise. It basks in yellow light within the constellation Lynch-Na-Plo. We have translated Lynch-Na-Plo to mean approximately the long, thin creature who has swallowed the huge beast. I am afraid this is all that I know. I hope it is sufficient.
Okay. Catch you later, Zex.
Goodbye, beautiful human. I hope we can meet someday as friends. Perhaps even more?
No. Alright, I see what's happening. Okay. Anyways, that's going to wrap up this part here, I think. It's a good point to break and move on to the next part after this. Just a good little breaking point. When we go next, we'll be going hunting for the strange beastie that Admiral Zex wants. Hooray. See you guys soon.